with you. Let me know. Let me know if you see me on Facebook. Let me know you can hear me. If you're there, say I am there on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're doing them all. We're just doing them all. Sometimes I'm a believer in like do one really, really well. Sometimes I'm a believer of like, hey, my people might be a lot of places. So I can see that already on Instagram. So I'm excited. So if you're feeling like your engagement has taken some type of a dip, you're in some type of slump on impressions, your engagement rate, or your video views, please note that I said engagement rate. I always want you guys to be paying attention to that rate that your people are engaging with you. Then let me tell you, you're not alone. And I have 5 proven ways to help you boost it, to get a lift, to get a giant leap that will work across any of the platforms. And I can confidently say that because I get to work with so many of you that love different platforms different ways. And every time that I give you one of these tried and true methods, even sometimes when you push back at me, who's with me that has pushed back on one of my ideas? Kristen, do you see me on Facebook yet? Looks like you should. Even when I give you them, they work for you. So I'm gonna give you 5 ways. I have my Post-it notes ready. But first, let me give you a quote of the day from my trusty dusty book here. The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me, by Miss Anne Rand. So the question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. If you're feeling that today, let me know. Okay, I think we're warmed up. I think every platform has somebody on it. Do I see you? Maybe. Let me just move you over a little bit. Yeah, okay, you see me. Good, cool. You never push back. Kristen never pushes back. Nope. She loves to do all the text messages. So let's go. What's the number one way if you are seeing an engagement dip? And admit it now if you're like, yeah, my metrics look a little low, or admit, you know what, I don't look at my metrics. I prefer the ostrich approach to my social media, Nicole, and I just prefer not to look. I just keep going. But how many of you know at a gut check level, there's been less interactions or you've seen less views? You're just not seeing the same. Well, let me tell you, the tried and true first one up that will always work on all the platforms. Hey, Lourdes, good to see you. Is you have to give some engagement to get some engagement. So I know you're probably like, really? I came here for this. I came here for this. Yes, you came here for the give and the get because I want you, in order to get more engagement, I want you to jump on your social media platforms, preferably before you post, but maybe your stuff is scheduled. But preferably maybe same time of day. Maybe you like evenings, maybe you like the mornings, but just take a few minutes, set a song or 3. You don't have to go crazy and do 20 minutes of engagement, but I just want you to set a little timer, if you will. And I want you just to go after some engagement. I want you to comment. I want you to like something. I want you to share with somebody else. I just realized, is the mic okay? Anyway, I want you to share on someone else's post, give them some love, follow them, give them a comment inside the post. So if you want to see more engagement, you've got to give it. I think that goes in life as well. So I did joke in the description here that these tips will not only work across any platform, but they might actually help you in person. So if you're a little introverted, I'm thinking of you. Chris isn't on right now, but I'm thinking of you, Chris, that sometimes you just gotta, you gotta give a little bit of that. Now, the next thing that would work also when working in person is you got to get personal. So let's jump into DMs. So you don't have to do it right now, but many of you do message me privately in Facebook. Actually, I probably have tons of action inside of my private messages back and forth. Yeah, so Kristen is saying that some of her reels reach has tanked and you try so hard and you're not getting as much love anymore. It's simply because of all the updates and changes means we have to work for it a little bit more. Now, all these things will shake out over the next 30 days, I'm sure, and we're going to see, you might see, a little bit more of an uptick, but we're not seeing it as quickly as we want it, and everybody is feeling it. So in order to do that, these are these 5 ways. So this number 2 way that I just mentioned, get in the DMs, is people are following you. You're following other people. Either they're new to you, you're new to them, or they've been existing. And so I want you on the regular throughout the week, a couple times. I'm not saying 30 times in a day, but I want you to message somebody privately in the DM, comment on their story, ask them a question, say something to them like you're a human, like you're a real person consuming their info. I know one of my favorite mentors. She'll post something, she'll say something, and it would be silly for me not to say something back. Does she always? Actually, this one particular one, she actually always does. You know why? Because it's been ongoing that I do this a lot. And as she grows, she's gonna remember me saying, hey, what's up? So I want you to think about who are the people you want to be in front of and send them a DM. What I like to do when somebody follows me and they are somebody that I'm like, oh, I want to, that's my person, that's my type of person, I will send them a little video message. Yes, I said video, but there's plenty of filters. So even when I don't have eye makeup on, I can still, I can still look like I have eye makeup on. But no, you can also just send an audio and just say, hey, so-and-so, I saw that you followed me. I just want to say thanks. I do This is what's up. And I'd love to learn more about you. Push it back at them. Guess what? People love to share. That's why we're here on social media, right? We want to share. So, okay, that's number 2. How many of you tried DMs already? How many want to guess this next one? I talk about this all the time. Anyone want to guess what my next suggestion is if you want more engagement? You have to listen to the market. Anybody guess that? If you are listening right now live, let me know you're live if you haven't already. Thank you, Lord. Tell me my mic is good. If you're on the replay, hit replay. Here is what I want you to do in terms of listening. If you're listening to your market and to your audience, and I'm not talking about to your mom and auntie that are following you, although I love you guys, I'm talking about to your actual market. One time I asked my mom, hey, Mom, what's interesting on my Instagram, or what's interesting. Actually, I said Instagram, and she's like, I'm not on Instagram, Nicole. I don't know what's interesting over there. I said, okay. What's interesting on my Facebook? She's like, all of it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I can't ask you this question. And so she was a bad example, but a good example for you. Don't ask those close to you. Ask the people that are closest to you and your wallet, that you serve, that spend with you, or that are thinking about spending with you. What do they want to see so that you can stay relevant? Because I might say this is what you need to do, but I'm asking you to do it so that you're relevant, so that when you share something, they're like, oh, she's talking to me. Like this message right here today is also, this is live. The podcast was pre-recorded, but the podcast that went up this morning is just an 8-minute podcast of this. Share it with your team. Share it with somebody else. Give me a review over there, please. But I did that because so many people kept sending me screenshots like, hey, what's happening with my engagement? Hey, Mike, if you're listening, you're one of those I'm thinking of right now. Like, hey, what's happening? Is this happening for everybody? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to scrap what I was going to talk about, which is still good. It's still relevant. But if this is on everyone's mind, someone else told me they were just Googling about this, then I want to serve and I want to stay relevant, because, and the way to do that is to be listening, because I'm always listening. So listen for what your people need. Okay, I promised that number 4 you would get nowhere else besides here, and it's be a stop sign. Anybody want to take a guess at be a stop sign means while I take a sip of water? I want you to be like a stop sign with your brand. I love branding. I love consistency. I'm wearing pink for you. Yeah, well, it's a pink-ish, which reminds me again about branding and how important it is that you show up the same way a stop sign does. So what does a stop sign do? Anybody want to tell me? Yes, they tell you to stop. I am trying to get you to stop the scroll and listen for a second. That's true. But what a stop sign does is it tells you an action to take, right? Okay, you need to stop. It gives you an announcement. It also shows up consistently across state lines, across cities and towns. It looks similar. We know when to expect it. It's going to be at the end of a street. Typically, it's not randomly somewhere in the middle. Occasionally, if there's a street coming the other way and it's a T. But the point is, your brand, your personal brand, your business brand, all of those things, you need to create some consistency. Doesn't mean that you need to post every day at 6 a.m. and at 10 a.m. and then 3 p.m. No, that's not what I mean when I mean consistent. I mean, make sure that when you're showing up, people are like, oh yeah, that's my person. I'm not surprised that she's wearing pink glasses, or she's wearing pink sweater, or I'm not surprised that she's standing at her desk, or yeah, no, that's my person. You don't have to reinvent your brand all the time because you feel it's been done before. No, beat the drum, be your brand. Now, if you feel that your brand is stale or it's not reflective of you, that's a different conversation, a different live, a different toolkit for another day. Okay, Kristen, you said, but when you said I'm talking about engagement, and I said, yes, consistent. Everywhere you go, they're the same. Exactly. Yes. And your pink glasses. Yes, Southern Crafted shutters, right? I think it's so important to make sure that your people come to expect that I just cannot talk about enough. But the last one that I want to get to, anybody have any questions yet? Let's see. Oh, Kristen, you have DM'd? Okay, good. So last one I want to get to is, you know what, it might feel really, really big, but I have to say it because this is still a proven method. If you are giving some engagement to people that you want in your sphere. So think about like someone that you just worked with, whether you're a photographer or you sell shutters, or whether you're a freelancer and you just worked with somebody, go engage on their page, their info, and like people will find you. Right? So their friends are seeing their stuff. Maybe they have a project that they're ready to hire you for as well. If you're DMing people, now they are just tuned in and paying attention, and the algorithm is making sure you see their stuff and they see your stuff. That's a win. If you're staying relevant by listening and then you're delivering on content, well, you're going to show up because you're top of mind. If If you are showing up as a stop sign, standing out from the crowd, and you're showing up consistently in color, in font, in form, in maybe time of day. Thursdays, I like to give a toolkit. All none of that matters. All those do, but none of it matters if you can't get clear. I'm here to help entrepreneurs build their business in everything that I do. It's not just these mini toolkits. I want to help businesses grow. I want to know that small businesses already are such a vital part of our economy, of our world globally, that I know if I can help support them, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? My community is better, my world is better for that. And so that's my role here, is to help build a business. So if every single time you see me, I'm consistently showing up and saying, hey, I have an idea to build your business, you are getting a very clear message. Now, how I do that? Lots of ways, right? It could be these lives. It could be working with somebody. It could be VIP days. It could be supporting their event or putting on an event. It could be lots of different ways. But the point is, I want you to make sure that your people are getting a clear message. If you are the mindset coach, if you provide home interior services, whatever it is, make sure, are you not a beacon for that? You should be. If you are a mom who has time constraints and struggles, and we also need to talk about those things too, then I want you to show that off as well, but be clear on how that impacts them as well. All of us humans, spoiler alert, we are multifaceted diamonds with all these different cuts and layers to us. And it's important that you remember that as you talk to your audience, they are also maybe, the 40 something year old female. Maybe they are someone who has a relationship or doesn't. Maybe there's somebody that, I don't know, tries to be moderately healthy, or, sometimes. But remember that they are a whole person, and how you impact their business, in my case, you could also be impacting their mindset or their relationship or how they manage their time. There's lots of different ways, but be clear and be consistent. That engagement's going to come. You have to put in a little bit of the work that you haven't had to before. Sorry about that, but the, the algorithms are never going to change that much that these tried and true methods aren't going to work. It works for if you're extroverted or introverted. Frankly, if you're introverted, I feel like this internet thing was made for you. So you can make faceless reels, you can make faceless videos, you can just show a still shot. There's so many things that you can do, whether you are a people person or not. And I'm excited to see what you do. Now, why don't you get started right now? DM me or DM somebody else. Go around and comment or post, share this one. That would be easy, and I'd appreciate it for sure. But find ways that you can just engage for a 3-minute song. Put on your favorite one, blast it loud. You know where I am if you have any questions. I'm looking to see if Kristen has any questions, because she's always good with questions. You might have a problem being brief. Yeah. I always question your clear message. I think you're clear on your message. You love to help people make a gorgeous home that they are proud of and that they love, and that they can also hide from their neighbors. I think that that's really clear. You also, Kristen, are really good at talking about business concerns, right? Like you're no, you don't shy away from how much Run Like Clockwork has helped your business. So I think you're doing all of that. You might feel like you have several, but that's why I say you are completely a multifaceted person, just like your audience is as well, and you're serving them. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Thank you so much for being here. If there's anything else that you need, I'm listening. So let me know in the comments below or send me a message. I'll talk to you soon. Maybe. Maybe.